Today is Yarn Talk, and I am going to talk about Yarn Home out of Lithuania. So even though Yarn Home is located in Lithuania, this particular company, you can find them online. I believe they have a Facebook account and then also an Etsy account. While the yarn they use isn't spun locally typically, they do use yarn that is locally spun in the environment or the country they purchase the wool from. So for example, they do a lot of wool from New Zealand. In fact, I've got a lot of New Zealand wool to show you today. And they have it dyed and spun there locally, and then it's shipped over to Lithuania. They also have wool that comes out of Suffolk. And then, of course, they do a lot of other different types of yarn and yarn bases for a lot of different applications, and we will explore those here in just a moment. Hello, my name is Sig, and this is Essential Crochet, and you, of course, are always welcomed here. Don't forget to hit the like bar, make a comment, hit the subscribe button. All these things really help this channel grow, and the more I grow, the easier it is for me to contribute regular content like this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started with the unboxing of all this beautiful yarn. Now, Yarn Home sells a variety of yarns. They sell alpaca and superwash merino and even a rustic wool that we're going to explore today. They sell linen and cotton yarns and crochet threads. They sell lots of different bases, so they really carry a heavy amount of quality yarn at quite an affordable price, and we'll get into that here in just a moment as well. So they try to cover all of your fiber art needs, such as knitting yarns, yarn for macrame, yarns for rug making, fine lace crochet. It really is quite amazing, and they really do at least a nice online presentation of this variety of yarns that they have available. So because I have a few projects in mind, or actually one major project in mind, that requires me to use a more rustic, non-superwashed wool, I decided that they were a really good option for me to give a try. So now they score typically, depending on who's doing the reviewing and where you see the reviews at, they're averaging out about a 4.8-ish stars out of 5, which really is quite good. Now, the major complaints that they've had in terms of what little issues they've actually had, because they really haven't had that many issues if they're getting a 4.8 out of 5 stars regularly, is that the shipping is sometimes a problem. Now remember, this is coming from Lithuania, so we could be looking at some real shipping issues from time to time that might be completely out of their control, might not. I don't know. I didn't have that problem with them. Shipping was great. I got my package, and probably within a few days of my ordering it, so I was really super pleased with that. The other kind of complaint that kind of cropped up on them when a complaint did crop up on them is the fact that the colors sometimes were slight variations between the colorways of what was supposed to be the same yarn. So obviously the yarn wasn't coming from the same dye batch is the best way I can put it. And so that can be a little bit of a problem. And since it seems to be a minor issue, maybe it's just something that has happened once or twice, or maybe they've gotten their quality assurance better under control. But all in all, they still ranked very high in their reviews, and so that made it more attractive to me in terms of purchasing. They are a family-run business, and I like that. And there are some other things that they do that are a little more small business, in some ways a little more sustainable in some areas. And so I decided they were really worth a try, and I hope you think so as well. So now the first thing I'm going to show you are these 100-gram skeins of their unwashed basically non-superwashed is really what I'm trying to say. They're non-superwashed fingering weight yarn. Now this wool comes from New Zealand. It's minimally processed. It's not bad. I mean, as far as a rustic wool is concerned, it's not terrible. It's not super scratchy. For those of you who don't know, being a rustic or relatively low processed yarn, you know, it's going to be rougher. It's not going to have been processed to soften it up. If you have sensitive skin to wool products, this is something you probably do not want to pursue. You want to look more into what they have for their superwash merinos. That's probably going to be your better bet if you're sensitive to wool or you're trying to make something for as a baby product or something along those lines. Now this wool, and these are the three colorways that I've got. I've got kind of this bright green, this forest green, and then this purple. These are basically some of the colors I'm going to be using in this project that's coming up. And so by the time this video drops, I will have the link to the project tutorial below. It'll be quite wicked. A little hint for you. But at any rate, this yarn will eventually soften up. It's going to take a wash or two, of course. With any wool product like this, you can't just throw this particular yarn into a washing machine. You have to gently wash it, unless the object of you washing it is to felt it. Now, this is great yarn for felting. This is beautiful yarn for felting. And then this particular yarn also comes with other properties that I like. Now, the other property I really like about this yarn is its affordability. For the quality of this yarn, these prices they're pretty amazing. So, for example, each one of these 100 skein New Zealand rustic wool yarn is going to come in at about $5 a skein. Now that's pretty good. Okay, so it's not hand dyed. This isn't hand dyed. This is, you know, this is dyed however it is they dye it at the location of where it's spun and processed. But, you know, for $5 to get a decent quality wool, and for a rustic wool, this really is a nice wool. You just can't beat it. So it's really worth checking out if this is something you're interested in. And then, of course, like I said, they have a huge array of other yarns and other yarn bases that I think are worth checking out. And then just, you know, and if you do so, let us know what you think. Let us know what you bought and what you think in the comment section below. I know I'd be really interested in hearing about that. And I think other people on this channel would also be interested in hearing about that as well. So next, we're going to get really into the star of the show here. And this is these boxes, right? So I purchased 3 boxes of yarn. And this yarn is fantastic. And the reason why I purchased 3 of the yarns is because I wanted to really get a variety of the colorways. And then one of the boxes is a different weight of yarn that I wanted to also get because I can use it down the road. And I also wanted to be able to show you, because I know that we've had Advent issues, right? Advent. People would like to purchase some Advent calendars, some Advent yarns for a loved one, or maybe even for themselves. And, you know, and quite frankly, for a lot of people, this can be really pricey. And if you don't really know what you're getting, this can be difficult. Or even if you're making an Advent calendar yourself, you're going to build this Advent calendar and you're going to present it, but your funds are limited. And that's pretty common for a lot of folks now. So I was really excited to see these boxes, because basically these boxes are going to provide you with 50 gram cakes. of their wool. It's the rustic wool. It's their New Zealand wool. So it's not exactly sock yarn. It can be used for socks or it can be used for mittens. There again, you know, it's not going to be very good for someone with sensitive skin or for a baby product. But if you have somebody who would just like, you know, who wants the wool for that or other projects, like I really like straight wool for household projects and decor. I even put it into sweaters and fingerless gloves or wrist warmers. I think that's fantastic, but I don't have a sensitivity to wool. So this works out really well for me. But this is an option. And so I'm bringing it to you as an option. And so give me just one moment and I'm going to go ahead and let you see what's in each one of these boxes. And each one of these boxes is going to set you back by about $35. Okay, $35 for 15 50-gram cakes of a yarn that's 100% wool. That's actually a really good quality wool from New Zealand. I'm telling you right now, your heart should be fluttering a little bit like my heart is fluttering a little bit. That's pretty exciting. Okay, so let's just go ahead and take a look at what this yarn looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's in this first box. I'm just going to go ahead and open this and turn it around. Okay, so that's pretty nice. So this is the worsted or Aran weight yarn that they have. These are 50-gram cakes. And they recommend this for like an Aran weight sweater or for rug making. So this is nice. So your colors are solid colors. They're all solid colors except for their sock yarns, but I didn't get any of that from them this time around. But the colors they're dyed with is pretty beautiful. It's quite saturated. Very nice. This will be lovely for piecework. This will be lovely for color work. Again, I mean, how nice is that? How often do you get a nice quality wool that's in a worsted weight or Aran weight size for this price? So the range of color is quite impressive, and this is what you're going to get in the box for this Aran weight or 4-weight worsted yarn. Now the next box is just these are fingering weight yarns. Perfect for socks if you're going to just do a straight wool sock. Perfect for gloves, for mittens, for the kind of color work that you might anticipate or expect from maybe a more northern style or Scandinavian style pattern. Lithuania is really known for their beautiful handiwork and their traditional pattern work that they put into their socks and mittens and other knitted wear. And I really love these because they really come off with this very beautiful heather quality. And I love a beautiful heathered yarn. Again, this box will set you back $35, $40, depending on, you know, the currency rate at the time, because this is purchased in euros. So whatever the conversion might be. But I mean, just lovely, just lovely. And the way the tones step up, they do a beautiful job with that. And so this is really a great and affordable approach to an Advent calendar, really. This is kind of the no Advent calendar approach to an Advent calendar where you get all the beef and none of the fluff. And then I wanted to show you one more or rather the last box. Again, 15 50-gram cakes. Again, we still have that heathered quality in the yarn itself, which is just beautiful. And this is more an earthy tone box. So this is for those of you who want a more natural look or obviously want more earth tones to their project. And so the selection is just beautiful. Again, you're looking at between 35 and 40 American dollars, 35 euros. They do have sales pretty regularly on Etsy. It was probably where you're going to find your biggest sell, but also check out their website for a greater variety of yarns and yarn bases to choose from. All right, I think that's about it for this episode of Yarn Talk. You want to see more episodes like this? Just go ahead and hit one of these videos below. I think I'm pointing at the right spot. Anyways, thank you for watching, and you have a most wonderful day, and I hope you found this video helpful. Bye-bye now.